Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. Today I'm reviewing Viking Gods, the Gods vs. Chaos and Deadly Final Conflict. It's a minigame from TSR. First I'm going to show how to play the game, and then Len and I will do our review portion of the video. Alright, let's go over the victory conditions first. In order for Chaos to win, which is these guys here and here, that's the Frost Giant setup area, and that's the Rainbow Bridge right there. In order for them to win, they must destroy Yggdrasil, which is basically a tree of life right there. And as far as for the gods to win, which is the green and the blue forces here, they have to either kill Loki, which is right there, or reduce Chaos to 4 strength points. Alright, as far as the sequence of play, it's pretty simple. Chaos player moves, Chaos player attacks, Asgard player moves, Asgard player attacks, and then Hela moves, and there's actually one more step. For the Rainbow Bridge here, each turn you add 2 void counters to it. Basically the point of the void counters is to make the Chaos forces move out of there, because if a void counter gets placed on one of their units, it's destroyed, or if anything moves onto a void counter, it's destroyed, so it keeps them from hiding, I guess. As far as movement, everything moves 2 hexes. Hela here, which is a neutral unit, she moves 3 hexes. Each turn, when Hela moves, she rolls 3 dice to determine what direction she moves in. And if she moves adjacent to another unit, it is instantly destroyed, unless the unit is Loki or the Tree of Life. And as far as the retreat rules in this, you just retreat 1 space back. But if you're not able to retreat, you're destroyed, and you can't retreat next to a friendly unit unless there's no other space you can go in. And also, if Hela's like over here and you retreat next to her, you're destroyed. Or if you retreat into her start space, which is here, you're destroyed. That's basically the rules for the whole game. For the basic game, that is. There's an advanced game too. We're just going to go over the basic rules here, and then we'll explain the advanced rules right afterwards. So let's do a couple turns. Chaos is going to go first. So I'll move 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, so then at the end of the turn, they put down 2 void counters. The gods go next. They're not going to do much movement. This guy here is going to move 1, 2. Now Hela moves, so we'll roll for first movement, which is a 3, and 3 is in this direction. Second move is a 5, which is in that direction, and third move is a 2, which is in that direction. Now Chaos moves again. All right. And we place 2 void counters. Now the gods go. It goes 1, 2. In the basic game, there's no terrain effects really, but in the advanced game, if you're going to cross the river that turn, you can only move 1 space, or if you move onto a hill or a tree or a glacier space, you have to stop as soon as you enter it. So now Hela's going to move. 2 brings her there. And another 2, 3 2s in a row. Usually she goes on the other side, so that's kind of cool. But she's going out towards the Chaos side now. Alright, so Chaos is going to go again. So stop. Well, actually this is just a basic game, so he doesn't stop. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, so we're going to have some combat here. Combat's very simple. So we got Thrym and a Frost Giant attacking the god Davalin. So that's a total of 5 versus 2, so they're on the +3 table down here. So let's roll and see what they get. +3, they get a 5, so it's Defender Retreat. So he'll move back to there. In retreating, the winner of the combat will retreat the enemy. So if your unit has to retreat, your opponent actually retreats it for you. As far as a friendly unit I told you about before for retreating purposes, when you're retreating an enemy unit, you can't retreat it next to one of your units. It can retreat next to one of its own. It can only retreat next to one of yours if there's no other space available. Just wanted to clarify that. Alright, so the last thing is we place some void counters down here. And now the gods go. And move back here. And those two will move there. And he'll go there. And he's going to move back too. So we got some combat again. We got a 6-2, so that's a +4. And he rolls a 1 and it's Defender defeated. So that one's killed. And down here, 2, 4, 6-3, so that's a +3. And gets a 3, so that's Defender defeated. And now it's Hela's turn. Oops, this guy accidentally moved next to Hela last turn, so he's automatically dead. I did that by accident. Alright, so now Hela moves. So 4, so she moves there and she kills these 2 pieces. And goes 3, moves to there and kills that piece. And goes to 6, which is right here. So that's how the basic game works. Let's go over how the advanced game works now. Alright, so we already went over the terrain effects in the advanced game as far as moving, but they also have effects on combat. So woods, hill, and glacier spaces, a piece attacking from them subtracts 1 from its strength points for that battle. And when a piece attacks across the river, it subtracts 1 from its strength. And then the other part of the advanced game is their special abilities for all of the different gods. Like this one, Odin can add 1 to the strength of any one friendly piece next to him if that piece is attacking. Forseti, any piece attacking Forseti subtracts 1 from its strength. Let's just go over a few more. Thor adds 1 to his strength when he attacks Jormungandr. And Vidar ignores Wood's penalties. And here's for the Forces of Chaos. Here's one of them. Jormungandr adds 1 to its strength when it attacks Thor. And that's basically it. So Len and I will do our review portion of the game. It's a very simple game. It's a war game that's designed so in addition to adults, kids could play it too. Hey guys, Dave and Len here. We just played Viking Gods. It's a very simple micro game about the Battle of Valhalla. What'd you think of it, Len?
Well, I had a lot of fun. You know, it's like a game that took you about a minute to explain the rules. I mean, it was like, you know, no stacking, plus minus, and you got to destroy the Tree of Life. Okay, off we go. And that's all I needed to know.
Yeah, it's definitely a game made so kids can play it. I mean, that's a thing they had in the 80s. In the 80s, there was actual war games designed so kids could play it. It's not like modern games. I don't know of anything modern that's designed for a, 10-year-old to play. So these are, I guess you would, in today's terms, these are kind of unique since they're geared towards kids. I mean, an adult can have fun with it. It's just there's just not very much depth to it. So for an adult, it would be like a beer and pretzels game or something you're playing while you're waiting for people to show up for the main event or something.
Yeah, because how long did it take to play? Now it's very
less
fast.
than an hour.
Yeah. And even setup was even quicker.
Mm-hmm. And either side can win. When I played this on my own at home, the Forces of Chaos lost, but when I played against him, he was playing the Chaos, and they won. There's a strange unit in this. It's actually a neutral unit. It's called Hela, and each turn it moves 3 spaces randomly, and if it moves next to any living unit, or not living unit, any unit, it kills it unless that unit is Loki or the Tree of Life. Those are immune to it. So Hela's like very powerful. In the game I just played with him, I lost 3 units to it. I probably might have lost the game because of it too. So that's kind of like not a fog of war, a chaos event. I mean, every turn you don't know which direction that thing's going, and sometimes you're like, well, should I set up here? And you're like, well, Hela's nearby. I don't want to go over here because Hela might move next to me and kill my units. So.
Yeah, and there's no set amount of turns because of Helga or Hela or whatever.
Yeah, Hela.
I used the extra time to move my units like south, far away from her before I attacked. Because otherwise I probably would have been forced to go the shortcut to where the river line was, and she might have picked off a few of mine.
Yeah, I noticed with Hela in all the games I played, she seemed to move north and mostly west. I mean, obviously she went other directions, but the overall movement throughout the game would be probably westish. So if you're playing as the gods, probably the next time I play this, I'll set up the gods have to set up west of the river, but I would set them up west of the river and further north and kind of move north just to get the hell away from Hela, kind of keep the Tree of Life probably in a far northern space behind the river, just to avoid that thing because Hela's nasty.
But we got to take one disadvantage was the counters. The printing is very small.
Yeah. I mean, we're both of the age where you need reading glasses, and when I played this at home, I wore reading glasses and I was fine, but I didn't bring them today, so I was having trouble reading the counters. It was real hard to see the numbers. They're really small, and the names on the counters are even smaller. And there's also an advanced game to this too, and the advanced game gives some very small amount of terrain rules and also gives, I guess you would call them special abilities for the different gods. So the god, this specific god may get +1 when it goes against this god. You got one that can teleport and so forth. So those are the advanced rules for when you get bored of the basic rules, but definitely wear your reading glasses while playing the advanced rules because you're going to have to read the names on the counters, which is printed really small.
Yeah, if they ever redid this game, bigger counters, bigger printing.
Yeah, and not so thin.
Actually, I think this game has a lot of replayability.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's
and there's
fun
several
to play.
options for strategy.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing to say you can't add some rules to it too if you want, as long as your opponent agrees to it.
Mm-hmm. So, actually, rate this highly.
That's good. I would rate this as somewhere between fair and good. What about you? A little bit better than that, or?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd put it like 7 or 8.
Oh, that's good.
It actually is fun to play, but I can actually see after you play it about 10, 20 times, you might get a little bored. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking this is, quick to set up, quick to play, and it has also a lot, the Viking. You have all the named Viking gods and characters. Mm-hmm. So that's part of fun. Especially, I like that one turn. I killed Odin.
Yeah, Loki. If you kill Loki in this, the game will end immediately, and the Forces of Good will win. But Loki's is. I mean, if you're controlling Loki, you're going to keep him out of situations where he could get killed.
I didn't know that. I put him in the front line.
Well, you had him by the forest, though, and the forest slowed down my movement since we were using the advanced rules for the terrain. You can only move whenever you move a space in a forest, you have to stop, and whenever you cross a river, you can only space that turn, so that really slows down my forces. And wherever you had Loki, I either had to go through some trees to get to him or go across a river. So oh well. But anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. We'll have a new video next week.